Yep, guys, we're here at for Dice
and Men.
and Men.
Dice and Men.
Dice and Men up in Ripon, and I have the infamous Mr. Dan Entwistle.
Hi, friends.
He's no friend of mine. He just stomped me with 3 massive mummoks. How are you finding the event, Dan?
It's really awesome. I really like playing 1,000 points because it gives you chance to see and field armies that normally you don't see very often. So, good example, obviously, 3 mummoks. That's what I've brought with me this weekend. Jay Clare's bought Guahir Bayon and a bunch of eagles.
Don't talk about Jay Clare either.
Yourself bought Big Urukai Horde.
Yes.
It's really cool to see these different kind of armies. Will's obviously great host, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Venue's really lovely. It's nice and
It is a lovely venue.
small little pub, but just enough space.
But it's got a very big venue area in the back.
Yes, yeah. The play space is really big, so there's enough space for enough tables for there to be people.
I mean, I literally I think basically in turn 2 I lost 27 men.
Sorry, Dave.
Hey, don't be sorry, it was fun. The key thing is neither of us expected to be on table 2 at the end of day 1.
I've got to admit, with my army, I expected everyone to be bringing 33% bows with their 70 model armies, and I would just be shot off the table. Like Anuj has bought 48 Mirkwood Rangers with Legolas and Tariel.
Yes, I look forward to not playing him.
Yes, I do too. Hopefully I've done enough to avoid him for now. So,
you're going to be table 1, table 2 tomorrow.
Table 2,
yeah, and
I've got enough VPs, I think, to be table 1. So
sorry, I held you back on some VPs. I killed him. He killed Millie. And then I surrounded. The only time I get to surround someone,
with the Beastmaster when he fell off. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. We're finishing day 1. It's been fun. We've had some great games. Scenery is awesome.
Yeah, scenery is really nice. Is it? Adrian's Wall, I think the name of the guy.
Yeah.
So have a look at his stuff. It's really, really pretty.
Check this guy out!
Shameless plugs for other people.
Well, why don't you just start with the national anthem or something? Anyway, moving on. Stop it. Right, yeah, fantastic time. Cheers, Dan, and lovely seeing you again, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Okay, listen, Dan's leaving us, not right now, unfortunately. He's leaving us in 19 days to head off to
2017, the 25th of January, I fly out to Malawi to help do some charity work out there for 3 months.
So if you guys can help him out in any way,
I'll drop another link onto the GBHL page with my Just Giving, so any donations would be really, really fantastic. I'd really, really appreciate it.
Check him out again!
Yep.
Okay, listen, guys. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye for
Take
now.
care, guys.
Table 6, Road to Pelennor. Table 7, which is Bree, is JT Noble versus Kira McGreevy. Table 8, the Misty Mountains, is myself versus Larry.
Hello guys, everyone. We're going to finish off the review of Dice and Men, which was run by World Champion up in Ripon. Excuse the continuity, the lack of the beard, but hey ho, here we go. You didn't go, I did.
No, so you're going to have to review and I'm going to have to be the interview. So I guess the first thing to say is, where did you actually place in the end?
I think somewhere like 7th or 8th or something like that. Something ridiculous, but not ridiculous. It was great fun. I had an amazing good time.
So the special rules that we talked about in the last video, how did they affect you? Did you find it added a different dimension to the game?
Well, I thought the whole aspect of it, I was very dubious at the start. I thought, this isn't actually even The Hobbit. I spoke to you at length about it and stuff, and I decided, we'll go, we'll give it a try, and I've got to say, I loved it. I actually loved it. It was brilliant. I had some fantastic, awesome games with some great new people as well, and existing faces, and I got myself battered around the place by a very good friend of mine.
Good.
Mr. Dan Entwistle and his 3 mummoks.
It's a 3 mummok surprise.
27 models killed in the second turn. Ouch.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
So you saw that. Did you see the variety of the armies? You've already said mummoks were there.
There was mummoks.
Give us a flavour.
Jay Clare brought his eagles.
Nice.
There was a good couple of orc armies as well. A couple of dwarf armies. Some gobbles came on the table and wrecked a few people. There was some Mirkwood Ranger Wood Elf armies. There was Ed Ball's Feldbeast.
Of course.
Yes, he took his Feldbeast, and he took a Shade as well, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, awesome list. Didn't get to play him this time, but I think I'm lucky on that. But I played one person, JT. Thumbs up, JT. What did he bring? An Ent army with
JT's
one.
legendary Ents.
But I think was it? No, it was just one eagle. And what a fantastic game we had. I'd love to mention about that later on, but wow, that just set it on. And then obviously I played Dave Reed with his Numenor army. Yeah, no, not Numenor army.
Arnor.
Arnor army. Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah. But yeah, fantastic, really good.
So, let's talk about the setting. How are the tables? How was the venue? How was the food?
Okay.
That stuff.
Well, I worked backwards from the food. The food was great. It was a buffet that was basically put on from the minute we got there till the minute we left. You could just go out and
Good job I wasn't there. I'd have been at all.
You would have, but there was plenty. You know, in fairness, there was loads. When we finished on the Sunday, there was still stuff left on the plates.
Wow.
Not from the Saturday, but and stuff. You know, it was light. It was just a pick and mix.
Yeah.
So that was a serious positive thing about the food. Really enjoyed that. The venue was very strange. You walk in what seemed like a very small pub, and you go through a corridor, and suddenly you're into a very, very large room. The tables were a slight bit cramped,
In terms of tightly packed.
and maybe not enough bum room between yourself and your opponent behind you.
Well,
But at
he
the same
was
time,
he was concerned about that, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He said
he
when
was.
we talked to him about he didn't want to push it too far.
no, it was brilliant. I mean, there was no major issues about that. It was delightful to be there, and the scenery was awesome. The scenery.
The pictures look really good. If you haven't seen them, go on the Great British Hobbit page, and I think if you search for World Champions posts, you'll see the pictures he took.
I mean,
look really good.
Round of applause there for the effort that he put in regarding the scenery and the tables. A few rickety little tables, a few bits and pieces, but you know,
have that, don't you?
You do. It didn't upset or disturb anyone's games, except that when I went to the toilet on one occasion, I heard a big crash. I came out to find people picking up models from the floor on one occasion. But hey ho, everyone was in great spirits. Yeah. Two little downsides, though, if I may.
Of course, we're reviewing fairly. So.
Yeah, I've discussed this with Will, and Will took this on board, and I've got to commend him for that. You know, very, very positive attitude, and he agreed. There was a slight problem with the lighting. Now, I'm getting old; my eyesight isn't great.
Yeah, I
and
have a similar problem when I'm gaming now.
I had to actually concede my last game against Dave Reed because I started moving some of my models, but they were actually his models.
Yes.
And I thought, look, I'm here for fun, and tactically it's just not going. And Dave's a great player. He had outclassed me already, and he gave me a fantastic compliment. He said, look, Dave, you were under the foot there, but you're such a good player that you could actually have pulled it back. I said, yeah, but cheers.
No, I have the same problem when especially when I'm playing either the card games like Conquest, or when you're playing similar armies and you're trying to spot which model is which, and you know, Uruk-hai versus Uruk-hai, if it's only the rim of the base that's really dramatically different, it can be difficult. But as you said, we'll head those points.
But Will jumped in and said, look, Dave, we've got a better lit table, do you want to play on this? And I went, no, we've done the job, and I've enjoyed it, and thanks very much.
Yeah, it's easily solved for next time, isn't it? You know, have a few lamps around or something. And so that's it.
That was just one. The other one was that I just felt that again, maybe because I'm getting old, but the breaks between games just didn't seem to be. Now, for some people were great. You know, the games were 2 hours long or so, and they'd finish their game within an hour, and they'd have plenty of time. Some of my games went the full 2 hours, quite intense, fantastic games, and then suddenly you barely get a chance to have a lunch or so. But Will took that on board, and really, really pleased the way he took it. And again, he put forward suggestions of what he's going to do next year, and I'm looking forward to next year.
As a TO, Will's first time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No issues whatsoever.
All the feedback I've heard from everyone has been that it was a great TO.
Yeah.
Good first job, Will. Well done. And hopefully we'll have more adventures from Ripon to bring you maybe next year, maybe even later this year. See what he's doing. He might. We might be able to persuade him to do an 80-pointer or something. So the last thing we need to say is, who won?
I didn't. It was good old Mr. Ed Ball, but though I expected Ed to get ranked very highly and potentially win, hats off to Mr. Dan Entwistle for coming in second.
Yeah, well done, Dan. Well done, Ed, as well.
Done. Well done, both of you guys.
And that's.
Oh, and Dave Reed came third. Sorry, Dave.
Although it surprises everybody when you take out Magic, you think Ringwraith would suffer, but Magic is one of the main ways to shut down Foul Beast.
One of the few ways, actually. Yeah.
You know, so actually, overall, Ed seemed to have won out of the thing. Although he admits himself, it came down to a 50-50 roll in his game against Dan Entwistle, which, if it had gone the other way, we'd be sitting here telling you that 3 Mummoks won a tournament. Who'd have thought we'd ever be saying that? I mean, it used to happen back in the days of Lord of the Rings, but we've not seen it for many years.
I will say, though, it's a testament to the community on how the standard of play has come. A couple of years ago, when I first got involved, Ed was the top name. Now people are developing armies, developing tactics that can take on Ed's armies, and giving him that 50-50
and maybe
dice
one
roll.
day I'll give you a little how to beat Ed video, and maybe just with normal goblins from Goblin Town, Ed. If you want to know more, ask Ed. He loves telling that story. Anyway, we're running out of battery, so we're going to cut this one a bit short so that we can get all of them done. And our next video will be the preview of the Cardiff tournament that's coming up into the West, round by Alistair King. So join us again soon for that one. And obviously, if you've got any comments, if you want to shout at us, call us names, just do that down there. But click subscribe while you're at it, because then you can shout at us in all our videos.
Comment reference the beer, guys.
Yeah.
Whoops. I listen, love you and leave you, and see you all soon. Bye for now.
Cheerio.